Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 55 of One Man's Opinion. Today I am reviewing the Aragon cast of the National Tour of Six the Musical by Toby Marlow and Lucy Moss, directed by Moss and Jamie Armitage, and choreographed by Carrie-Anne Ingrouille, if I'm pronouncing that right. I hope I am. If I'm not, I apologize. They will be hitting Columbus, Ohio and Fort Myers, Florida soon, before making a West Coast swing across California and Vegas.
Divorced. Beheaded. Died. Divorced. Beheaded. Survived. And tonight, we are... Listen up, let me tell you a story. Welcome to the show, to the history mix. Switching up the flow as we add the prefix. Everybody knows that we used to be six wives, but now we're ex-wives. You must think that I'm crazy. You won't replace me, baby. There's no way. Get down, you dirty rascal. Get down. You can build me up, you can tear me down, you can try, but I'm unbreakable. We're one of a kind, no category. Too many years lost in history. We're free to take our crown and glory for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more minute. We're six.
Aside from a couple Christmas shows, this is the first episode for this channel where I am reviewing a show for the second time. My review of the Broadway production of Six the Musical was one of my first reviews, going back to episode 12 of season 1. The national tour is essentially identical to the Broadway production. The only thing different is the cast. Still, seeing a show a second time does offer the opportunity to look at it anew. Maybe I don't like the show as much as I had previously, or maybe I like it more. Maybe there's something you take away from a show that you don't get the first time. Well, for Six, I can't say my opinion has changed much. I really loved the show the first time I saw it, and the national tour maintains the show's energy for its taut 80-minute runtime. Six follows the six queens of the English throne during the reign of King Henry VIII. It is presented in a concert format with the six ladies performing as a girl group to start, and then each of them getting their moments to tell their story of what it was like to become the betrothed of the king and how they each met their respective fates under his rule as his queen. Though I'm generally not a fan of concert-style musicals, this one works. The history flies fast and there's a lot to digest, but Marlow and Moss are great at making sure that if there is anything the audience misses during a song, it is repeated to some degree later in the show. Upon repeat viewing, I found the premise a little weak in as much as the six ladies vying for the audience to decide which one of them had the worst life, being with Henry VIII. It's kind of like, is this really the hill you're going to die on? No pun intended, competing with others to see who has had it worse off. Ultimately, it works, though, as the ladies discover more about themselves and their individual empowerments along the way. In that aspect, that is why I like the show so much. It's because these six leading ladies of the British Empire are presented as more than just Henry's six wives. They each have their individual colors and textures and struggles that they deal with some modicum of success and some with tragedy. There is a bit of fantasy in the end, but the fantasy of what the women wish they could have been has an inspirational message, in particular for young ladies to follow your dreams and aspire to do great things. The thing is to remember that though, yes, we here in America are still working out some of the problems that we have in regards to women's rights, we are far better than what England had during the reign of King Henry VIII. And they go through some of those details over the course of the show. In regard to the cast, I like that the casting isn't held to identical casting as the Broadway production. For example, the actress playing Jane Seymour this time is Jasmine Forsberg, who is of Filipino descent instead of a white actress whom I saw in the Broadway show. And Catherine Parr is played by Gabriella Carrillo, who is a first-generation Mexican-American. The actress I saw on Broadway in the role was black. The flexibility of casting really opens up opportunities for actresses who want to be in the show. Obviously, there are some parameters. The characters have specific vocal and costume styles that need to be met to fit the characters. Kalia Wilcoxon absolutely nails the Beyonce stylings of Catherine of Aragon. Storm Lever leans more toward a Lily Allen spectrum of Anne Boleyn than Avril Lavigne. Forsberg got a standing ovation for her Adele-leaning performance of Hearts of Stone, which was kind of surprising for a Hartford, Connecticut audience who are generally a bit more reserved as an audience, so that was nice to see. Olivia Donaldson had Nicki Minaj attitude in her hysterical performance as Anna of Cleves. Dee Dee Romero had a great Ariana Grande look with an interesting Britney Spears temperament in her portrayal of Catherine Howard. Carrillo definitely had the Alicia Keys look, but seemed to have a much more individual turn with Catherine Parr, especially when she pulls the reins in on the show. There was a peculiar awkwardness that I wasn't expecting, but seems to work in its own way. Her performance was the one that felt the most different from what I saw on Broadway. That's not a bad thing, it's just different, which can be a good thing. Audiences may warm up to it and like it more or like it less. Ultimately, it feels unique. Right or wrong, it's a strong choice, and I approve. Commendations should be made to Paul Gatehouse's sound design and the sound team for the show. Usually in Mortensen Hall at the Bushnell Center for the Performing Arts, the audio for shows like this are terrible, and I usually have to reference lyrics elsewhere or depend on my memory from cast albums or from previous viewings to know what was being said or sung. But whoever handled the audio setup here did a fantastic job. It was the best audio mixing I've heard in this space, and they deserve recognition for their work. So 6, yes, go see it. There are 2 casts on tour currently in North America. Like I said, the Aragon tour I mentioned earlier on where they are traveling. Then there's the Boleyn tour, which is going to cover the Midwest for a while before coming to the East Coast, and then jumping back to the Midwest, then going to Colorado and Alaska before coming back east. They're kind of jumping all over the place. So check the cast list online to see if it's the same cast I saw, because I'm sure the other cast will bring a totally different dynamic. If you've seen the other cast, let me know what you thought of it. I'd be curious to see what you think. But I am only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments. If you'd like to see 6, I'll leave a link in the description where you can see upcoming tour dates and get tickets. You can support my channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and click the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review will be the Broadway show A Beautiful Noise. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.